Welcome to B.I.V.I.P, my lovely BIPs. I am the notorious B.I.V, as you know, and thanks for joining me here today. Normally I would do a video with Paul, but as you can see, Paul is not here. He has been sick this week, all week, and so it's just me today. That's all right. Earlier this week, the Disinformation Commission got decommissioned. The director resigned, and the whole project got put on hold a mere 2 weeks after its inception here in the United States. If you don't know what that is, President Joe Biden, let's go Brandon, put together this disinformation committee to make sure there's no disinformation anywhere, ever. Okay? And I say, good riddance. Just good riddance, because the whole concept is ridiculous. Disinformation, I think disinformation, misinformation, whatever you want to call it. I think it all started like back in 2016 when Trump got elected and the media was like, they lost their minds, right? And Trump like would go around them, right? He'd just tweet on Twitter and just and so like the media was like, oh my crap, like no one's listening to us anymore. We've lost control. So they're the ones that were like, well, we gotta stop disinformation. Everything we say is right, and everything anyone else says is disinformation. That's kind of how it all started, I think. And then like Twitter and Facebook and everyone kind of followed suit. And we're like, oh, okay, I guess we're getting rid of disinformation. I mean, they were freaked out that Trump got elected as well, right? And Twitter, I think, was like, oh my gosh, we helped this guy get elected. So they were like, so we're going to get rid of disinformation now, right? And so in the past 6 years, it's like, it's only gotten worse. But the thing, I don't even like to call it disinformation, because I think that's just stupid. Like that's what they label it, right? They label it as disinformation because it's basically whatever they don't like is disinformation, right? That's the truth. And I mean, and I have a couple problems with the whole disinformation thing, right? Just that you're. I mean, we've all, since the existence of man, right? From the beginning, like there are always people telling you stuff, and wanting to, influence you, and you get to listen, you get to compare things, you get to decide for yourself, and that's amazing. That's like that's a God-given like ability to think and reason for yourself. So if you want to like put that in somebody else's hands, I feel bad for you. If you want Google or Facebook or the government or anybody else, if you want any of them to like think for you and say, here's the truth, this is the truth, I think that's weird. Why would you want that? And I do think there are people that want that. I think there are people that desperately want to just turn on the TV and have truth fed to them, right? Or turn on the internet and have the truth just fed to them. Tell me what to believe. I just want to know what to believe. Just tell me what to believe, and I'll believe it. And that's sad. And I think I think those are the people that believe that disinformation needs to be stamped out because they don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to look at all the options and then make a decision. They just want it to be fed to them. And I think those people think that if somebody says something, that everyone's going to automatically believe it, right? Which is not true. Like, do you believe everything you hear? Of course not, right? And I think, you know, I think people these days, like, you can look at someone and say, oh, they have like 1 million followers, and look what they just said. Oh my gosh, all those 1 million people are gonna hear that, right? That's the only thing that's different between today and the past, right? Is that you can like see like how much influence people have, I guess. But really, though, I mean, of those 1 million people, they're not going to automatically believe something somebody says, right? No one, you don't believe everything everyone says, right? And there's always people, there's always a government or a religion or your friends or your family or your frenemies or anyone else. There's always people that want to tell you things and want to influence you and want you to believe what they're putting out. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not, the other problem I have with disinformation is that, nobody has the truth, right? There's no one person or organization that knows the truth, okay? Unless you believe in God, right? God is omniscient, right? He knows everything, supposedly, and he can reveal that to you through prayer and other things. But but other than that, like no human being has all the truth, okay? And so I think a lot of times it's like the whole idea is like, oh, well, the majority believes this, so that's the truth. Well, that doesn't work. It doesn't hold up because, think back to the Middle Ages or whatever, the Dark Ages, right? And everyone, the majority thought the world was flat. And, Copernicus and all these heretics, right? All these heretics were spreading misinformation, and we need to put them to death, right? Well, that's exactly what we're doing today, right? Oh, so this person's spreading misinformation, so let's ban them from Twitter or whatever, right? Let's cancel them so that they can't influence anybody. It's the same thing as back then. Is that how we want to live? I don't think so. I don't want to live that way. I would rather have just people be able to say whatever they say, and then have the rest of us say, no, I don't think that's right, and and that's how we determine things, right? That's how we determine truth, right? Is the good ideas rise to the top, the bad ideas get pushed down, and we go on with our lives. And I know, and everyone will bring up, well, what about Hitler, right? Hitler, convinced all these people to follow him, and they did all these bad things. And yeah, that's true. But we fought a war and we beat him. We defeated those ideas, right? So, if some weird idea does take root, we fight it and we beat it. And that's just, that's how it's always been, and that's how it's going to be. No one can tell you what's true and what's not except you. Okay? So, as you can see, I'm a free speech guy. I'm into free speech. But it's not even about that. It's just about, personal choice and accountability. Like, you have the right, you have the sole responsibility to decide for yourself what is true and what is not. Weigh all the options, do the research, whatever, and find out what you believe. And don't let anyone let anyone take that away from you. That is like the greatest blessing we've all been given, and I truly believe that. And I am the notorious B.I.V., and you have been listening to B.I.V.I.P. So please leave a comment below. What do what do you think about? What do you think about censorship? What do you think about disinformation? Let me know. And I'll see you next week, hopefully with my boy Paulie G. And I am the notorious B.I.V., and I will see you in the next video.